Also, for anyone who is new here, just to be aware, right, we have a full ATC ground school course up and running. And this is to get folks from the entry position when it comes to online flying all the way up to be able to do their very first VATSim event. Now, Xbox pilots, you can't use VATSim, not yet until they work, maybe FlightSim 2024, right? But for the moment, we can use our Discord.
Voice, very like Celine Dion.
We can use our Discord, meaning that if you want to simulate air traffic control or, you know, speaking to a controller, well, that's what we can do, right? That's what we can do. Now, if I were to look at the real setup in VATSim, right? Because if I have actual VATSim coverage, well, sure, I'll jump onto VATSim and do this flight. If not, we're going to fly this in an uncontrolled environment, meaning we're going to be on the Unicom 122.8 frequency. And that's going to give us practice because, well, we need to do all the talking. We need to say who we are, what we are, where we are, and what do we want. All right. So Explain 12 update. Okay. Yeah, we've nothing here in Ireland at the moment in terms of VATSIM coverage, but that's okay. That's okay. We will have full VATSIM coverage when we're doing our event. And as I said, if you're new to this, if you're a little bit nervous, don't be. As I said, this document here, this will teach you everything. What to say, how to say it, when to say it. Okay? So, just like every other... what's the weather doing here, Epic? Epic, it's raining! Yeah, the sim weather could be a little bit back, so we'll change live weather, and we'll just go to something a bit kind of... You know what I'm saying? Typical summer's day, that'll do. And we'll do a nice evening flight. Okay? I'm going to turn my aircraft so I don't need to worry about pushbacks. Oh, jeez. Pushbacks and all that sort of jazz, right? I'm just going to start off somewhere over here. That looks nice. All right. So, before we get started, rain in Ireland, that would never happen, right? Before we get started, if you guys would like to grab this document, the Virtual ATC Ground School, you can pick it up for free over on our Discord channel. I've scoured the internet. There's articles in here from VATSIM, a couple of articles from online, plus my own real world experience when it comes to talking to ATC. I've done a little bit, and it's all kind of mushed here into this one handy document. The contents, you'll see all the contents, and if there's anywhere in particular you'd like to view, well, sure, you just click on the gadget and it'll bring you to that section. Then when you're finished, scroll down, you'll see contents, and it brings you back up. What if the weather is bad at the VATSIM event? Well, again, this is the beauty of flying on VATSIM. You can tell them, hey, my weather is just a few clouds. Now, they'll still give you the weather, real world weather. They'll give you the active runways, right? But you can tell them you want to fly on VFR and you're using, you know, a few clouds if you want it. Just tell the controller. They're not gonna worry about you. They're gonna keep the active runways based on the actual weather. But that won't make much of a difference to you, provided you can imitate the wind as best you can, yeah? So when it comes to VFR flight rules, well, we need to have what's known as VFR minimas. Basically, the distance of the clouds from your aircraft or the clouds from the ground. Meaning, we're not allowed to fly in the clouds. We're not allowed into them, lads. It's terribly dangerous and we'll get lost. So we're not allowed in there, right? So, let's go through our document quickly to figure out what it is we have to do. And for this, we're going to have a look at the VFR lesson 5. It's pretty much the same, except in this case, well, we're going to be uncontrolled. So we're just talking VATSIM, right? So what we need to do, each flight, every flight, in fact, you're going to do is going to be broken into 4 parts. Every single flight you do on VATSIM is going to be broken down into 4 parts. Part number 1, planning our flight. We've got to plan what it is we want to do. If we're VFR, we need access to charts, we need to see maps, we need to figure out what it is we're going to be doing. The second part, well, we need to file our flight plan. In particular, we need to do this on VATSIM. Even if it is a VFR flight, we need to tell the controllers, hey, this is what we're planning to do. Part 3, the flight. Let's fly what we've planned and what we filed for. And then part 4, it's a review. And the reason why we review it, we make sure that we actually did what we were supposed to do, or if there was any changes or deviations, either by our doing or indeed by air traffic control, well, it'll learn us for the next time. All right? So, let us get started. We're going to plan the flight. So, to plan the flight, I use Navigraph. I highly, highly recommend Navigraph. It is a paid subscription service. However, it's about $10 a month. I highly recommend it. I think it's incredible. It's not a necessity. If you don't have this, well, you can use Volanta. That'll help. You can use charts, or you can use Little Navmap, these are all free options. All right. But just my personal preference, because of the latest updates with Navigraph, I really think these guys have done amazing things. Well, they've brought VFR to the whole Navigraph thing, and I think it's incredible, right? So let's have a look. We're located up here in Donegal, Echo India Delta Lima. Right. So we've got to plan our flight. So before we do kind of much else, let's get an idea of what it is we want to do. So we're just going to put in our departure will be Donegal. We're going to add that. And our arrival is going to be Shannon. And we're going to add that. So now you can see it's just drawn a straight line all the way down. Now, if we want, yes, we can try to fly that route. Why not? Because we're VFR, we have a lot more freedom. An IFR flight, just like the airliners, well, they need, standard instrument departures, they need waypoints, and they need their arrivals. Every single waypoint is a place they must fly to, unless ATC tell them otherwise. When it comes to VFR, we have a lot more freedom, but with that freedom, we have to be very aware not to fly into anyone's airspace, especially without permission. That's all, right? So a couple of changes between flying in Europe and in the US. We'll worry about them later. So let's have a look. Well, we can see Donegal has its own airspace, class Charlie, meaning that from the ground up to 7,500 feet, that airspace belongs to Donegal. You can't get in there unless A, you have permission, and B, you have the right equipment on board. Unless you're flying something like a Warbird or something, a vintage, you don't need to worry too much about the equipment on board. The equipment on board basically means you have a transponder that can do mode A and B. They call it mode C. Squawk mode, Charlie. We're able to, that's right. Anyway, so we don't need to worry about that. We're going to fly. And if we have a look down here, you'll see that the class Charlie airspace changes now. Instead of being from ground level up to 7,500 feet, it then extends upwards to 2,500 to 7,500 feet. Basically what that means is when we take off, if we remain under 2,500 feet, well, we're technically below that airspace. That's handy. We're not technically in that airspace, right? Now, it's still a controlled zone. You want to say, hey, I'm entering here, especially if this airport was live on VATSim. But at the moment, it's not, and for our flight, it's not. So as we look at our route, this is giving us the way down. Well, there's other airspaces here. In particular, see these small little pink ones here? These are just like alert areas. They're letting you know glider activity, military training, there could be restricted airspace, flying over military installations or prisons or whatever, right? So we just need to be aware of these. We can enter them, but we have to, apply a bit of caution and worry. So if we look at this, we can plan that, yes, we're going to overfly Sligo, right? And that's just going to be lovely. What's the rule here? We can't just enter anyone's owl airspace, especially if they're online. If they're not online, we don't need to worry about it on VATSim. But if they are online, we can ask them to enter. But because we're planning, well, what do we do if they say no? Uh-oh, turn back. What? Yeah, turn back the plane. We can't go any further. No, we don't need to do that. So why don't we plan to avoid the airspace just for this flight? Just to say, hey, if we avoid that airspace, well, can we still make our flight interesting? Yeah, of course we can. Why? Because we're going to move this little gadget over here, and I want to take it over towards Belmullet and then down by Achill. Because these are beautiful locations in Ireland, right? Now, just be very, very careful of the terrain in this area. You'd only be flying at an altitude that suddenly, you can't get over the mountains and you have to change your altitude and all this. So a bit of planning, right? So when we take off, we want to head down towards Belmullet. And from Belmullet, let's have a look at where we're flying now. We're going to come in over Westport. Yeah, there's Achill out there. So we're going to come in over Galway, over Connemara, right? And again, we're staying outside of Galway airspace. There's another airspace down here at Connemara. We've flown here already on this course, but we're not going to worry about that. Our projected entry into Shannon Airport, or the Shannon Control Zone, it's known as. This is all known as the Shannon Control Zone. Well, we're going to expect to enter this from the northwest, meaning we're going to be approaching the airport, and depending on what runway is active, be it 24 or 06, well, we need to look at the airport chart and figure out what way we need to enter the circuit. All right? And we'll need to check to see, is there going to be... can you guys not see my mouse? And you need to see if there's going to be ATC. Okay? So doing a flight like this, well, it could be a little bit dodgy doing it this way, so let's make life a little bit easier, yeah? So let's use some landmarks around us. And this is the good thing using a navigraph or a little nav map or whatever. Because it's visual flight rules, we're going to be flying, looking out the window. We fly visually, right? So what I want to do, my first waypoint, when we take off from Donegal, and we'll figure out the weather in a second, but when we take off from Donegal, well, we're going to fly over Killybegs. Killybegs is a fishing town there in the northwest of Ireland. Big harbours and all that, yeah? Donegal catch fish, that's where we got all that from. So we're going to fly over Killybegs, then we're going to turn right on a heading of 250 degrees, and we're going to head out towards Belmullet. Now, how we're going to find this once we get to Killybegs, well, we're going to see this landmass straight in front of us. This whole landmass here of Ireland is going to be in front of us. We're going to aim for the very corner of that. All right? Are we talking tonight? Just checking if we need to set up a headset. Yeah, we're going to be talking. Unsure will we have ATC. But what I'd like to do here, lads, if we practice flying this on Unicom, whereby we have to report our position and our intentions, that's going to be good practice. It's all well and good listening to controllers and they're telling us what to do and we have to react to that. That's super important. But we've done quite a lot of that. Now, who knows? We might just have Shannon Airport activate itself a little bit later on into the flight. And that can happen on VATSim too. So you have to be prepared for that. Okay? But for the moment, we know we're flying on Unicom. So our first waypoint is going to be Killybegs, then it's Belmullet. And from there, we're going to be flying over kind of Aquilas here and kind of Westport is there, over Connemara. So we need to find ourselves another waypoint before we get to Shannon. And how are we going to find it? Well, if we zoom in on the map, we can see windmills. Look, the wind farm. Okay, well, let's adjust our course. So we're going to overfly these windmills. Wind turbines, essentially. Because that's going to be... See them here as well? Look, see the amount of them? So once we overfly these, that's a visual... It's called a visual reference point. We'll see that out the window of our aircraft and we'll now know, this is where we are on the map. All right? From there, it's going to overfly Furbo and then it's going to be coming in over Ballyvaughan, right? Lisdoonvarna is up this neck of the woods as well. There's Lisdoonvarna. Doolin. That's where your man has Doolin Beach. Isn't that where Trump has his place? Anyway, we're going to be coming in then over Ennis. And then we're going to be approaching the airport. All right? So, I thought you'd fly via Leitrim. Leitrim doesn't exist. It's in here somewhere, but it doesn't exist. So, that's kind of the gist of what our flight is going to look like. Departing Donegal, Killybegs, out to the west, and then in over Connemara and then down. That'll be Ireland's largest wind farm. Sure, you can't miss it, so. Did you measure that, epic fool? What do you do for a living? I measure wind farms. Yeah? But there you go. So if that's Ireland's largest wind farm, perfect. We're going to see this from a couple of miles out. And that's the beauty of Microsoft Flight Sim. Out of the box, it's VFR friendly. If you had X-Plane, not as friendly. Sure, they might put in some of the OS data, but this, definitely, this is the only show in town. You can make X-Plane do the thing with ortho imagery, VFR add-ons and what's, you know, all that kind of jazz. But this is out of the box. This is what we want. All right. So let us get the weather. So I'm using custom weather in the sim. So let's figure out what the weather is doing. So let's have a look here. So the wind's variable at 3 knots. Okay. There's no wind. Meaning I kind of have runway of choice. Now if I look for a weather sock, that'll give me an indication. But if the winds, you know, they're so light. They're so light. 3 knots, like it's nothing. It's a gentle breeze, lads. A gentle breeze, right? I don't see any weather. Oh, there's a weather sock there, look. So I'm going to depart from, well, the northern runway heading down the way. That means I have to back taxi on a runway, right? So let's open up this now. Keane Lafford could count the windmills. He absolutely could. Keane Lafford would count all the windmills, yes. So let's have a look. We now know we're going to be departing from runway 21. Runway 21. So let's adjust our course here a little bit. Because we want to go straight from the runway. And then we want to find some sort of a landmark to know we want to be turning down towards what's it called? Killybegs, right? Now, Dunlow is here, right? Mount Errigal is over there. So what are we going to see? Well, if we take off, here's one for you. If we take off, we pass by one major road. If we keep heading down, we'll come to another road. This coastal road here. And if we follow this coastal road to the east, we're going to come over the town of Dunlow. That's a visual reference point. This is where you'd be writing it down. It'd be no different than if you were looking at a map in a forest or looking at a map to do a road trip. You're going to work out your waypoints, your visual waypoints. Hey, you know, when you get to Chicken Hut, take the second left after Farmer Billy's house. It's the same principle. You write this stuff down. And this is what makes exploring not only the sim, but also the ATC element a lot of fun. Because you've got to kind of, you're planning now. It's you know what I'm saying? It's really, really fun. So that's what we're going to do. There is an obstacle here. Okay. Also mountainous terrain is around here. Should be okay. And then it's down to Killybegs. Now, the joy of having something like Little Nav Map or, you know, Volanta or Navigraph, we can kind of cheat a bit. Why? Because, well, that's our aircraft. We can track this just by keeping it on another screen or even on your phone. Really, really handy. And unless I don't know this now, maybe you guys can tell me here in the chat. If you're on Xbox and you know the way you have that Navigraph integration, can you also display your position on a moving map outside of the sim? Or are you just using the Navigraph system from within the sim to show you where you are? Who knows? But anyway, if you can use a GPS there if you want. VFR flying, it's visual flight rules, but like, listen, don't worry too much about, oh, I'm not allowed to use GPS. I'm not allowed to use this, that, and the other. You're the pilot. You're in charge. A GPS, these are there to aid you for navigation. You often hear it said, GPSs are navigational aids. Only on the Vision Jet. Sweet. Navigational aids, right? You can't bait a map and a compass. You know what I mean? Murph, are you able to share the flight plan? No worry. Of course I can. Of course I can. But like, here's the thing. You guys don't have to follow the exact same plan. Have a bit of fun. Maybe you want to go to the east of Sligo and, you know, ramble in over Leitrim and then come down by Roscommon and then back into Galway this way. This is where you have all these choices. And if you look at the airspace, well, you got to be careful because you don't want to enter in. This is a different control zone altogether, mainly Scottish control. So you got to be careful there when you're looking at, you know, the FIR that we learned about a few weeks ago. You just got to be careful where you're flying. Just be aware of the airspace, right? But if you'd like to make this a little bit handy, pardon me, I'm going to export this flight. We're going to call it Monday. Jesus, all the Mondays. We'll call it VFR flight. VFR Monday. Yeah? And that goes into the download section. And let me see. Oh no, not the Scots. Anyone but the Scots. So over on Discord, I'm going to drop in a flight plan. Okay? And I'll show you where that is. Where do my flight plans go? I keep moving stuff around. Important. Flight plans. So if you go into the important category on our Discord, the flight plan is now live. Okay? Little nav map keeps your track so you can peek after you land to see how much you screwed up. Voyaging. Brilliant. This is FIR EIDL 1900 Zulu. That's more of a... This is IFR. No, in the real world, it would be Cold Nebo. That METAR that you're looking at, if that's current and that's what you have in your sim, that is 100% IFR. The reason being is, if you look at it, right, see the way you have, forget everything else, see the way you have -RA. Well, the code for -RA means it's raining. And if you want to know, Murphy, how do you possibly know that? Well, I'll show you. METAR. Click on METAR, find RA, it's raining, lads. See it there? That's why this little document is handy, yeah? It also says overcast at 4,000 feet or 400 feet. Overcast, cloud layer. So you can see it over here on the right-hand side. All right? Is it legal to fly via Northern Ireland when staying out of controlled airspace? Yeah, of course it is. You just got to be careful because in the real world, you're flying into an FIR area. But if you look at it, the control zone for the FIR, if we were to look at it, Scottish FIR, let's look at the information. It tells us it's active. It's only active from flight level 245. 24,500 feet. If you stay below 24,500 feet, you ain't in their airspace. Do you know what I mean? It's for the higher altitude stuff. They're not worried about VFR traffic here. They're looking after the airliners. Scottish Control, that's what they're called. All right. Didn't give a mileage for this visibility, but the ceiling is IFR. Yeah. All right. Clouds, yes. Dew point and temp, yes. Yeah, there you go. You get the idea. You see the advantages of Navigraph. I think Little Navmap has some of this data as well, but you get the idea. Yeah. Now, if we look at the Shannon FIR, again, it's, you know, flight level, 245. All right. Anyway, I am happy with that plan. So at this stage, then, it's over to file a flight plan. So if we want to file a flight plan, well, this is what we're going to do. I highly recommend you go straight into SimBrief. And you might be saying, but sure, Murph, we're not flying IFR. I know that. But look what we're going to do here. So we're going to go into Dispatch. And we're going to go into Dispatch over here. It's going to load up SimBrief, and we're going to select a new flight. From in here, we're going to be departing Echo India Delta Lima, and we're going to be landing in Echo India November, Donegal to Shannon. Our aircraft type is a PA-28 Arrow 3 Turbo, so we find PA-28. There's no PA-28. Lovely. Closest aircraft, let's go with a 172. Gibble got me a PA-28 profile. It's not important. Let's just go with a 172 for the moment, right? Now, we can change the registration, so we can go Echo India Tango Tango Mike. Our call sign could be, our flight number, if you like, Echo India Tango Tango Mike. And let's have a look there. Don't mind that it's given us all this information. Don't worry about any of this whatsoever. So let us quickly just generate that flight. Let's just generate the flight. And you might be saying, but sure, we're not doing that flight. We know. So let's have a look. Once we generate the flight, go down to the bottom and where it says File Flight Plan or Pre-File on Network. See down there at the bottom? Pre-File on Network. Click on Show Details and we're going to select the pre-file on the VATSim network. Click that. It's going to log you into VATSim. It might ask you for your password and whatever else, just as it is now with me. And then it's going to bring you to this page, right? Got that. Allow the cookies. Here we go. Right, so now this is where things are going to change. We're going to edit this part. And the reason why we edit this part is because, well, it's going to auto-complete a lot of the information that we may not know. For instance, what transponder do I have? You know, what's my cell call number? Don't worry. Call sign. That is what ATC are going to call you. Echo India Tango Tango Mike is me. You put in your own. I want to have a VFR flight rule. We change that. Aircraft type, change that. We're the PA-28 or. You can't put in the or. PA-28. Wake category, don't worry about that. Equipment, don't worry about that. Departure and arrival is good. We don't need an alternate. Remember, we're VFR. Off the block time, local or Zulu. We put in Zulu. Our altitude for this flight, it's telling us 4,000. Yeah, I'm fairly happy with 4,000 for the most part. So we're going to go with 4,000. Airspeed is going to be a little bit quicker. I reckon we should be able to chug along at around 150 knots. Fuel endurance is going to be something like 5 hours of fuel on board. And it'll take us just over an hour to get there. The route details, get that out of there. We don't need it. So we're going to say EIDL. We're going to put in Killybegs. Where else are we going? Killybegs. We're going to say Belmullet. Belmullet. Then it's over Connemara. And then it's Shannon. And the reason why we're putting it in like this,
Hello there.
we don't need to have stated airways or waypoints. We're just telling them, hey, we're going to take off from Donegal. We're going down by Killybegs, out to Belmullet, and then Connemara and back in again. The local controllers, they'll know where you're flying. They'll look at it on the map. And if they don't, they'll come back to you and say, where are you going? And then you just tell them, right? Belmallet, right? Do you know what I mean? Mr. PSMC, you're very welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Right, what else do we need to do here? Everything else here looks fine. Remarks. The very bottom here, if you put in remarks, if you want, lads, put it in as student pilot VFR. Using custom weather, few clouds. There's enough information with that to let the controller know, right, student pilot, he's VFR, and he's using custom weather with a few clouds. Okay. You're just giving them that little bit of information, okay? Once we're happy with all of this, we click on the button that says File Flight Plan. And the flight plan has been filed. Enjoy your flight. That was very nice of them, wasn't it? So we have now passed stage 1, plan our flight. Stage 2, file our flight. Stage 3, let's fly. Okay, so now I have multiplayer turned off for the moment. I'll turn it on now here in a little while. So let me see. I want to change up my avionics here because I like that GNS. Whatchamacallit?
State saving enabled. State saving disabled.
No, turn that on.
State saving enabled.
So remove the chocks and tie downs. Doors, leave all those closed. And we're finished with that gadget over here. Click on the button. Don't need anything else over here. So welcome to our aircraft. Let's check our weight and balance before we go. We're full. We're full to the brim, lads. Full to the brim. In our beautiful... Look at this Piper Arrow. Isn't she stunning, lads? Absolutely stunning. These were all recently updated by Just Flight as well. So, now, here's the trick, right? Because we don't have... any network, there's no VATSim online yet. So we're going to be on Unicom, but we don't need to ask permission to start up and taxi. We just tell people what it is we're doing. All right. I'm going to press some buttons over here in the corner and we'll just let this do its thing. Right. And we have our voice channels active over on our Discord channel. You can jump in. Don't worry about having to talk, but jump in and have a listen. Right. You can just jump in, mute your microphone, have a listen to what the other pilots are going to be saying. You'll pick it up eventually. Donegal is one of starting locations we might be doing with our event that's starting this Sunday. We're doing 2 events. The reason being, we're going to try and capture everyone's time zones.
That's a big win for good buddy.
Red Dragon, I beat the Jays. 29 months, look. Thank you very, very much indeed, man. Very kind of you. But if you're new to all of this and you're a little bit worried, perhaps you're saying, don't know if it's for me. Don't worry. You're with a very friendly bunch of people here. We're very relaxed. We all have a mission. This is just one flight that we want to do on VATSim. Hopefully many, many more after that, if you guys are happy to proceed with them. So it's ticking a box. You do a flight on VATSim, it's an amazing feeling. Flying on VATSim, it's a great way to expand this hobby of flight simulation because there's nothing better than taking off in a location, listening to a local accent, and you fly somewhere else, listening to a new local accent. It's pretty cool, right? And, the level of immersion and realism really starts cranking up. It's more realistic. It's more immersive. It's pretty cool, right? But, don't be afraid. Don't let the anxiety get to you. Jump into them chat rooms, be it on Discord or whatever, or on Discord, be it in Unicom or whatever. Jump in, have a listen. If you want to take part or whatever, take part. If you don't want to take part, jump in anyway. Just have a listen. You can listen. Yeah. Right, now I need to press a button and make sure this is working. So will you lads let me know if my fancy buttons are working? Hello. Oh wait, did my voice change? It didn't. Why doesn't that work, look? Okay, it worked now. Do I have a fancy voice again? I do. Now why isn't that working though? Hang on a second.
Oh, behave.
There's buttons being pressed. Gee, Funk, many thanks for the bits, dude. Lads, you're going to start a hype train. We'll behave. Left side, please. Yes. Voice needs to be running. Okay. I just need to turn on this voice mod thingy. Now, let's have a look. Give it a second. Sorry, lads. I'm just waiting on this to work up here now. Don't switch the audio device. Audio device. Starting. Calling the opera singer, it says. And let's see what happens here if she powers up. Radio check, radio check. Do I have a very different voice? I should have, so that should be working now. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to jump onto Unicom on Discord, right? And if I mute myself, the guys can't hear me, right? Now, if I jump on and ask for a radio check because I'm on Unicom, and chances are someone might jump back and say, hey, yeah, I can hear you. Just to be sure. But, we don't need to work. We don't need to worry about that. So, I'm going to get my aircraft started. Then I'm going to tell people what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, right? And I suppose we can probably turn on data for this as well, right? Yuval, welcome in. Many thanks for the follow, dude. You're very welcome aboard. Happy Monday. So, we're going to use Microsoft's online services for this. I'm at there bashing me hand. Did you hear the sound of me bashing my own hand? Oh, right, okay. So anything can happen. It's live. Now, are we on the correct server? Here's Flow. I heard today, lads, Flow is coming out on Xbox. I heard it through the grapevine. Well, no, I didn't. I heard it from Elson. Look, here's people down here, look. Right? Now, when you're on VATSim, you're not going to have lovely nameplates, right? You're just not. And you're not going to have any other aircraft flying around that technically don't belong here.
Hello there.
Right? You won't see any of this. You'll see only aircraft that are on VATSim, right? And when we go to do our event, we'll have one stream just with VATSim, and then we'll have another stream just with our Discord for the Xbox pilots, giving you the chance to experience this thing firsthand. All right. Potato Man has an F-35. You'd see them all the time in Donegal, right? Now, what can make this a little bit confusing, right? What will make this confusing is, well, you don't know who's talking to you on Discord or not, right? So if there is confusion, we'll just turn off multiplayer for a moment until you're able to get out of there. It's the same thing in VATSim. Never spawn in on top of another aircraft or directly on the runway. If it ever happens, just log off and spawn in somewhere else. Always remember that, right? Try to be courteous to the other peoples. Pardon me. Flightmaster said, what voice changer thingy? This one. Hello. Makes your voice change differently. It's known as voice mod. I need to cough. Pardon me. Yeah, voice mod it's called. It's you can pick it up for free or you can buy it. But it's called voice mod. And you can, press buttons. Murphy hurt his hand so much he became Cherry Cole. Oh, Shirley Cole. Who was that now? Shirley Cole. Was that your one now of the... I was going to say the Sugar Babes. Was that your one who used to do Britain's Got Talent? Cheryl Cole. Oh no, that was Cheryl Cole. Or is that what you're trying to say? Instead of Shirley. Was it Cheryl Cole? Doing the thing you need to do because she's from Newcastle. Right, okay, Murph. Shut up now. Right, okay, aircraft. Well, we do our normal thing. So we're going to put on the right-hand tank. And well, let's start having a look at our systems. So parking brakes on. That's all looking good. Battery on, please. Go. Battery coming on. Alternator goes on. We can also put on our rotating lights on anti-collision. We have some lights here as well we can turn on, including our nav lights. All is looking well. We can see that we have full fuel in both our tanks. Perfecto. Where did the avionics come on?
Donegal traffic, November Kilo Romeo 54, departing runway 03 for the southwest.
There we go. That's another pilot telling us what they're doing, right? Captain Arash, welcome in, my dude. How are you, man? Dude, I cannot wait for next week. He says people can check using little nav map if it's set up correctly for VATSim to make sure that no one is spawned in on your spot of choice. Nice, man, nice. Hey, Georgie is here. Hello, Georgie. Welcome in, Georgie. Right, lads, so we want to start up our machine here, yeah? Now, there's no other traffic I need to worry about, but I will announce my intentions, all right? So what we need to do, prop full, open our throttle and our mixture full, and we're going to turn on our fuel pump. Fuel pressure is good. That looks fairly good to me. We can increase it and lower it, and fuel pump off. Keep the throttle open. Mag switches, we're going to go from right, left, and both. Open our little storm scope. Clear prop. And we'll go for a start. We got a good start in the engine. Watch the RPM. We don't want to go too far over 1,000. Lower our mixture so we don't foul the plugs. Close our window. And we're going to allow our T's and P's, temperatures and pressures, to rise until they get into the green. Alright? So far, so good. Now, we're going to reset our barrow because we're using the weather in the sim. Also reset our directional indicator. And, well, what other things can we turn on here? So we have traffic. We can display traffic now in a moment. Our transponder is going to be important. Yeah, because we're on VATSim, well, we're going to be squawking VFR. Right? Why can't I change that? Uh-oh. Don't panic. That happened the last time. 7,000 altitude reporting. There we go. Okay, so it's working on the other screen. Yeesh, that was close. That doesn't seem to be working. I've stuff not working on this plane. Anyway, we won't worry too much. Low voltage. Bring the RPM up a smidgen. Okay, so we don't have a taxi light, so landing light comes on. Peter heat comes on if we need it. Alright. And we're going to announce what we're doing, right? So let's have a look. We'll be taking off from runway 21, yeah? Donegal traffic, Echo India Tango Tango Mike is a Piper PA-28. Over at General Aviation, we're going to be taxiing for runway 21. Donegal traffic. So, I've announced Donegal traffic, so everyone on frequency knows, hey, he's talking to Donegal traffic. I've given my call sign, even though it's not terribly important, I've just given the call sign anyway. I've told him what I am. I'm a PA-28. Okay. Where am I? I'm over at the General Aviation parking, or the apron. That's where I'm at currently sat, right? Well, what do you want? Well, I'm going to be taxiing to runway 21. And the reason why I've said Donegal traffic a second time, the reason why you start and end with the name of the facility, if someone jumps on mid-conversation, they don't know who or what you're talking to. But if they hear part of the message and Donegal traffic, their ears will perk up and they'll say, hey, Donegal. You know what I mean? And the same applies anywhere in the world. Hey, Kanzui is here. It's good to see you, man. Welcome in. All right, so we're looking good here. So lights, all that jazz is good. Transponder, all that jazz is good. Park and brake comes off. And again, I don't need to worry about other traffic. There is no other traffic. There's no one on VATSim. And I have the Microsoft servers, for the moment, turned off. So I'm not going to be interfering with anyone, yeah? So we're going to head for the, we're going to head down for this active runway. Donegal traffic, you have a PA-28 entering the active runway, back taxiing to runway 21. Donegal traffic. I'm on the runway. I'm just letting them know, hey, I'm going onto the runway. So you don't need to worry too much about getting the exact words. That always kind of confuses people. Oh, I'm in an airplane. Huh? Don't let that annoy you, right? Just proceed with caution. Try and get as much accurate information as you can, but don't fixate on the absolute words. On this document that we have, right, there is a full script. Exactly what to say and when to say it. Who do you say it to? It's denoted by different colours, look. Don't go off the runway here, Murph. There's people watching you. Jesus. You'll see it, right, when we scroll down. See all this? Pilot is in green, and then ATC is in blue. It says pilot in green, and ATC is in blue. Shannon Tower, Echo India, Tango Tango Mike, and then that's telling you what ATC should say back to you. All right? Yeah, I'm only on our Discord server at the moment. There's no traffic. If Donegal is a kind of a funny one for departing, because you have to back taxi, there is no taxiway. So whoever gets Donegal for the event, just be very aware of that. Especially if you're going to be uncontrolled. And if someone makes a mistake and they're ahead of you, don't blast them out of it. Keep your distance. Let them make the mistake. You keep your cool. Let them do what they're going to do, and you can fly out after them. It's not a race. This sort of being courteous to other users, this level of etiquette, this is absolutely needed when it comes to online flying, because a lot of folks don't do that. They barge their way in, and it's a wreck the head. And that's where it all goes. I was here first, dagnammit. What are you talking about? You're in a fake plane, you muppet. But you know what I mean, right? Right, now. David, if you want to transmit on Discord, you are more than welcome. Yes. So we're gonna get ourselves lined up here. We'll turn here, and we're going to tell everyone what we're doing. Donegal traffic, you have a PA-28, runway 21, departing to the southwest. Donegal traffic. All right. Lots of flaps to take off. Now, before we get going here, a couple of things we need to check. Hold the brakes. We're walking, we're talking, mixture full, and soon to be squawking. Are we ready? Okay, brakes off, power coming in. Gotta be careful of that overboost in this turbo. She doesn't like it much. Okay, there's 60. There's 70. We're good and light now. Yep, see Daisy. 90 knots, positive rate of climb, and indicating. Gear up. There's 300 feet. Flaps up. And remember, we're going to be climbing up to about 4,000 feet. And we don't have to fly exactly on course. We're doing a straight out departure. We're not worrying about the circuit. It's a straight out departure. We're making life terribly easy on ourselves, yeah? If we were doing a departure to the north, you'd have to enter the traffic circuit or traffic pattern if you're in the United States. Okay, so far so good. Ooh, mind your trim. Let's get ourselves somewhat leveled off here. And we're going to let them know back in Donegal we're leaving the area. Donegal traffic, Piper PA28 departing the area to the southwest. Donegal traffic. Now we don't need to worry about Donegal traffic anymore, unless of course an aircraft is going to sneak up behind us and they're going to give it socks, right? Yay, the wind is hitting me nose there. Look at that. That's interesting, isn't it? Now, ideally, on a VFR flight, you don't have to use autopilot, but it could help. It could help. So what I want to do, I'm going to make sure that my heading is set, which it is, right? We're going to come down here to my little autopilot, just because I'm lazy. We don't have nav mode, but we do have heading mode. Autopilot on, heading mode on.
Donegal traffic, Golf 249 Tango Mike, Bonanza Golf 36, taxi to runway 21 for self-departure, Donegal.
So there's other aircraft taking off behind us, yeah? So we can zoom out here as well. So far so good. Let us lower that RPM a bit. Even though we're climbing, we're going to head up to about 4,000 feet. Alright? Pause, I'm about to lower the landing gear. That's the wrong button. Bring him up. There we go. There we go. Totally fine, Murphy. Alright, landing light off. So we're passing now 3,000 feet. We're going the right direction. I know we're looking out the window. Dunlow is going to be over here, which we can kind of see it. Mount Errigal, the second tallest mountain in Ireland. That's over there. Again, it helps if you're familiar with the airspace. In comes the Fireflies in F-16s. Yes, that needs to happen. But so far so good. And this is turning into a nice casual flight. Yeah, a nice casual flight. So let's just concentrate on what we're doing. We're taking our time. We're managing our aircraft, right? Keeping an eye on that speed. We're still climbing, not too aggressively. 1,000 feet per minute is a little bit high, but we're just flying towards roughly where we want to go. There is going to be some visual references along the way. We're just passing Dunlow here, right? Out the window there somewhere is Dunlow. That's Dunlow over here. So we're going okay. And 4,000 feet is our target altitude. So there's a little click spot, hidden click spot here. If you click on where it has Piper on the autopilot mode selector, that'll hold your altitude, right? That's your hidden tip for today, lads. Hidden tip for the day. So we'll keep climbing here. And as soon as I hit 4,000 feet, we're going to engage that. So there now is 4,000. Go ahead and press that button. That will hold our altitude. And we're going to start entering a cruise. Our speed will start picking up. We're going to increase our speed, right? And we're going to probably cruise along here at about 150 knots, give or take. So what we're looking for here, visually, outside of the window, what we're looking for all are visual reference points. We're navigating. And the cheat sheet, as Gibbo Ireland says, he works very hard to be lazy. Well, we can track our flight here.
Donegal traffic, Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, King Air taxiing to runway 03, Donegal traffic.
Ooh, a King Air. Mindful of him. We can kind of cheat here by looking at Navigraph until we get down to Killybegs. All right. So we're cruising nicely, lads. We're cruising nicely. So at this stage, you're monitoring the frequency, right? Murphy, you should be on 122.8, you muppet. That isn't working. Jesus, that's a good note to self. Maybe that needs an update. 1228 and transfer that, please. Transfer. Okay. Oh look, why didn't it do it over here? Does anyone else have that issue? What's this now? COM 2, that must be. So we should be on 122.8. Don't worry about it for the moment. And I'm also, you can change your radio frequencies automatically by clicking them on the V pilot. So it's fine. It's fine. So our speed is looking nice. Now we're going to go back in and focus on our engine, right? So manifold pressure is fairly tasty. And what we can start doing now, we can start lowering out a teeny tiny bit of mixture. And what I'm monitoring down here, see this little dial here? This is your exhaust gas temperature. And what we want to do, we want to lean this until we're slightly lean of peak. So I need to find out where she peaks. About there. So there's our target. And we're going to be slightly lean of peak. Okay. We're going okay, lads. We're doing well. 4,000 feet, flying along nicely. Now at this stage, I can turn back on all the traffic because we're going to see some airplanes flying around. And don't worry, that's the wrong button. Don't worry too much if you make a mistake, or if you're going to get someone acting the agent, let them act the agent. You're doing your flight, right?
Donegal traffic, Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, King Air lining up, runway 03, Donegal traffic.
Isn't it cool the way you're listening to other people? And like, we now know there's a King Air lining up for runway 03 at Donegal. That's what's cool about this, right? So I'm going to turn off the nameplates, even though it's great having you guys flying with me. I mean, I love this. I adore this of this sim. It's when it works. Let's not start that discussion, but when it works, it's being able to see all of you guys come flying with us. It makes me day. But for this little challenge, as Potato Man is going to be giving us an escort, we'll turn off the nameplates and we can monitor.
Delta Echo Golf from the Foxtrot, Piper PA28, taxiing to holding point runway 03, Donegal traffic.
Hey, Pilot Stud is here. It's good to see you, man. You're very welcome aboard. Ladies and gentlemen, Pilot Stud, awesome YouTuber. And is going to be joining myself and Captain Arash and Flights to Joel and Sparky Pilot and Scruffy Tam at VATSim Expo next week. You're very welcome in. King Lafford says, works hard to be lazy. That is the definition of me. Right? Now, who be this? Hockey says, just finished my first VFR flight from O'Hare Rockford. Oh, no, from O'Hare to Rockford. Congratulations, Hawk. Well done, man. Great news. Murphs, whose plane is this one? This is the Just Flight Piper Arrow. Just Flight. Now, looking at me charts here, or me Navigraph, look at this, lads.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
See the way we have these windmills here again? Can you guys see that? They're a little bit hard to see in the map, but if you zoom in enough, you'll see them. What I want to show you, well, here they are in the sim, look. There's the divils there. So when we talk about visual flight rules...
Donegal traffic, Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, King Air climbing to 2,500 feet and is leaving the circuit to the south, Donegal traffic.
Now, I know a King Air is a lot faster than me, so if I needed to, I could advise him to say, hey, right? But we don't need to worry about that for the moment. We don't need to worry about that. Muse Fan gifted a tier 1 sub to Pilot Stud. Thank you very much indeed, Muse Fan. Pilot Stud, great to see you, mate. Looking forward to Expo, man. It's going to be so cool. Right, so our next little waypoint, it's Killybegs, right? And if you notice, I'm drifting off a little bit to the right. I'm going to correct that. So I'm going to just do a little bit of a left turn here to get myself back on course. And again, you're keeping an eye on other traffic. So technically, we've left Donegal airspace. I'm now clear of all.
Echo Gold Tango Foxtrot taking off runway 03 Donegal.
I'm now completely clear of Donegal traffic, but I might be entering kind of a busy area. So if I needed to give a shout, well, I'll just jump on Unicom. When you're on VATSim, Unicom operates on like this range degradation. For example, if I'm on Unicom in Ireland and you're on Unicom in, you know, China.
Donegal traffic, Delta Echo Golf from the Foxtrot lining up runway 03 Donegal.
If you're in China, well, you won't hear me because you have signal degradation. In actual fact, if I'm in Donegal and you're in Cork, you won't hear me. But aircraft within my vicinity who are on the Unicom channel, they're going to hear me. So I'm just going to advise them. Remember, who are you? What are you? Where are you? And what do you want? Donegal traffic. Echo India Tango Tango Mike. Piper Arrow. PA28. Overhead Killybegs. 4,000 feet. Direction Shannon Airport. Donegal traffic. That's it. Now, everyone else within range, hey, there's a Piper Arrow, or a PA-28, overhead Killybegs at 4,000 feet, heading for Shannon. The important thing is, 4,000 feet, a PA-28, and he's heading for Shannon.
Hello there.
So if you're in a King Air, for example, you're going to say, whoa, hey, that's slow-moving traffic. I'm going to go above, or below, or whatever. Spatial, or what's it called? It? Spatial separation, yeah? So if I look out the left here, lads, Killybegs is out, apart from the F-35. Killybegs is just here. It's a huge kind of a harbour town in the west of Ireland. And it's a huge port town. And they have, as I said, Donegal catch. It's all like the fishing lads. That's what they hang out, you know. Pretty cool. So remember our next little area. If we
Donegal
keep...
traffic, Delta Echo Romeo Foxtrot is taking off runway 03. Donegal traffic.
So if we keep heading this direction, we're going to head into Sligo. And I don't see any ATC online. So yes, we could enter straight for Sligo. But we didn't plan for that. We're going to head to Belmullet, right? So in order to find Belmullet, there's all the coast of Ireland. We need to get over to the corner. So this is going to be a turn to the right. Looking out the window, well, I can see, hang on, yes, I need to be over here somewhere. So let's start a turn now to the right. So we're going to start a turn. I can't remember if I have automatic tank switching, so we're going to keep an eye on our fuel tanks. Yeah, the right tank and left tank, yeah, it's automatic. But let's see what this does, right? Unfiltered marine, is there a flight altitude limit?
Traffic, Golf 249 Tango Mike, Bonanza, Golf 36, lining up runway 21 for self-departure.
An altitude in relation to VFR, altitude restrictions, we tend to stay under 10,000 feet, usually. And again, it's going to be dictated by the airspace. So if you're in a controlled zone, or the FIR, or if you're going to enter someone's airspace, just the way we're very, very close to Sligo, we're at 4,000 feet. If we just happen to clip inside this airspace at 4,000 feet, but because this class Charlie is between 2,500 and 7,500 feet, we're at 4,000. If we enter there, we are in that airspace. We must remain outside of it. That's vital. We have to remain outside of it. If we want to venture in there, we call them up and we look for permission. All right? Okay. So we're kind of heading the right way. Again, you can use Navigraph because it's actually showing you where your exact aircraft is. Before you had these moving maps, it was quite the challenge because you didn't actually know. Now, again, I won't say common sense because the problem with common sense is not terribly common. But the idea being is, well, don't fly, you know, a nautical mile away from someone's airspace. Give yourself a bit of room, man. You know what I mean? Give yourself a bit of room. Extend your range a little bit. Keep way out of his way. Murph, what do I say when I'm on the airport traffic when I'm passing over someone? What do I say when I'm out of the airport? Just
traffic, Golf 249 Tango Mike, Bonanza 36 is climbing to 1,500 feet and leaving the circuit to the south.
There you go, very clear. David, all you need to say, jump on Unicom, give the location, so Donegal, who are you? What are you? Where are you? And what are you doing? So if you want to say aircraft, or please be advised, or you can, if you can identify as aircraft, you say, hey, this is my location. I'm going to be overflying you from your 6 o'clock, or it doesn't matter how you say it. Once you're clear on what you're saying, you're not talking to a controller, you're just talking to another pilot, yeah? So, for example, this pilot here, Potato, if I were to jump on and say, to the pilot in the F-35, please be advised, I'm going to hit the brakes. That's all I have to say. I'll hit the brakes and whoosh. You know what I mean? You don't need to tell them your life story, but you don't need to go into exacting details. Common sense isn't too common, and a lot of people, including myself, have a habit of reading everything. Jesus. Like, Keen, like, there's a time and a place, Keen. I just got keened.
Donegal traffic, Cessna 414, lining up runway 03, departure to the south.
The keen counter has been activated. Hit the brakes and watch them fly right by. Right? Yes, the Top Gun references.
Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, King Air passing over Killybegs at 4,000 feet. Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee.
Sweet. If there was someone else now... Oh, there's a Fuga. Oh, Jesus. Crikey. It's the Irish Air Corps.
Sligo traffic. Helicopter Rescue 118 departing Sligo to the west. Sligo traffic.
Ooh, this is important now, lads. So we were just told Sligo traffic, there's a helicopter. They're dangerous because, right? They're heading west. Okay, Sligo traffic. Let's give them a shout. Sligo traffic to the helicopter. Be advised, Piper Arrow is flying towards Belmullet from the northwest at 4,000 feet. He doesn't have to say anything. We're just letting him know, by the way, this is what we're doing.
Rescue 108, that's all received a routing for Black Sod at about 2,500.
Nice. Enjoy your flight. See you. So, like, we're communicating.
Donegal traffic, Cessna 414, departing runway 03. Donegal traffic.
Cessna 414 are fast as well, right? Hey, there's Potato flying right ahead of us. You get the gist of it, though. So Epic Fool is in a chopper. He's a rescue aircraft, so that means I'm a general aviation pilot. This is a pleasure flight. But you know what I mean? We're just out for the crack. If he's doing an operation or a mission, you give him the right of way. No, stay back now. I'm here first and I'm flying. That's just not, that dog ain't just gonna hunt, Throws a spanner. I love it. I absolutely love it. And that's what it's all about. You can't expect the unexpected, but like when you're flying, be prepared for the plan to change. Plans are designed to be changed. So, we won't fret or won't worry too much. We're doing our thing. We're going well. We're over the water at the moment, looking out the left window. That's Sligo over there, right? We probably will see a chopper here shortly. There's Sligo Airport. You can barely make out the lights in the distance, but I know that is Sligo Airport. That, what's the mountain there? Colooney? It's said that Queen Maeve is buried on top of that mountain, by the way. Queen Maeve. Anyway, so we know there's a helicopter heading out over here. Now, if I want to cheat and turn on the nameplates, we're going to see Epic over this wing somewhere. He's directly over the wing, look. Isn't that cool? We knew where he was before we even said, where is he? Because he told us, I'm a chopper around 2,000 feet and I'm heading west. Sweet. And like, that's before we have proper radar integrations and everything else. However, I do have traffic turned on with my main map. So see all these dots and all the numbers saying plus 11 or minus 31 or whatever? Well, that's letting me know the actual air traffic from you guys flying with me. How cool is that? How cool is that? We just need this to be radar, and then we need this information to be tagged back across so we can look at it. And then you would have a functional way to control traffic on Xbox. Let's see if Asobo add that to the wish list for flights in 2028. Coming to a simulator near us after 2024. Oh, do you know? But yeah, let's just see what happens, right? Now, as you're flying, sometimes...
Donegal traffic, Cessna 414, climbing 3,000 feet and leaving circuit to the south. Donegal traffic.
Okay. So we know that's way behind us. My eyes are going to be on the lookout for the King Air, because a King Air we just know is going to be going a lot faster than we are, yeah? Now I'm going to increase my power here ever so slightly. There are restrictions and limits for aircraft. In particular, you'll see it by this dial down here. If you guys ever look at your airspeed indicator, yeah? Well, it's not just showing you the numbers. There's a couple of things we can focus on. So you can see that, see the way there's no line here? Danger, that's stall.
Sligo traffic, rescue 118, zone out, Drunmore West. Sligo traffic.
He's gone out by Drunmore West, sweet. The white bar is showing you the speeds you can travel with maximum flaps. So flaps fully extended. The green area is safe flight. Safe flight. The yellow indicates don't go to that speed unless it's extremely calm. And the reason being is you often heard it said the flight envelope. The flight envelope, that's basically the flying characteristics or limitations of an aircraft. Stay out of the yellow, often referred to as rental mode. Stay out of there, because it's all well and good entering that. The aircraft can handle it. But let's say, for example, you suddenly get a gust of wind hitting it at the nose. Well, that's going to increase that airspeed against the entire fuselage. The entire frame of the aircraft is going to be liable to an increased speed. Yeah? Murphy checks the very corner of his map to make sure I didn't enter Sligo airspace. Anyway, as a real world pilot, you'd have to be very, very aware of that. It's all well and good hitting that, but if you suddenly get a gust of wind...
Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot is a Bonanza Golf 36 at 3,500 feet over Donegal City, heading south towards Shannon, gonna pass on the east side of Sligo. Sligo traffic. Nice,
nice. We got people going different directions. And that's what happens in the real world. Not everyone is going to be routed the same way. Unless, of course, you have to. Or ATC are going to get involved. The last bit here, lads. The red line. Never exceed that. Don't go over that red line. That would be bad. That's like crossing the streams in Ghostbusters. That'd be bad. Just don't do it, yeah? Just don't do it. So far, so good. I picked up VATSim 2000 executive last week, Murph. Not even opened the wrapper. It's still on it. No way! Tank, good to see you, man. So we're looking good. We have an F-35 for company here. That's always nice to see. Now, if you were on VATSim, you wouldn't see that at all. It just wouldn't be there. Unless it's on VATSim. But if it's on VATSim and they're flying that close, unless it's like formation stuff or military operations, you just wouldn't get it, you know? You got it in a charity shop. No way, man. That's deadly. VATSim 2000. What was it? What was VATSim 2000? Did that have the Concorde on it? Damn it, Jim! I forgot your joke earlier. Hang on, we'll go back, Jim. We'll go back. Keened again. No, hang on. Was it in the chat, Jim? Oh, it was. Murph, what did the nuclear scientist have for lunch? Fish and chips. Brilliant! Fish and chips. Yeah, Concorde on the front, VATSim 2000. There you go. Damn it, Jim, it's great to see you. It was €3 the tank. No way. That's brilliant. Okay.
Helps turn the mic on. Bill Mullet traffic, KR 54.
Mike passing Killybegs at 4,500 feet, heading to Ballymount.
Okay, so if you hear two people chatting on the mic, just, you know, let the other guy stop. Okay, now we're doing well. We're heading towards Belmullet. We're going to be passing Belmullet now in a couple of moments. Then we're going to be turning to the south. We are almost halfway through this flight. And remember, this flight is one of the flights we're going to be doing for the VATSim event. And how the VATSim event is going to work, lads, right? With the VATSim event, we have some really friendly controllers who are going to be looking after it. Don't worry if you make a mistake. We're here to learn. We've learned enough, but if anyone is stuck on the weekend, in particular this Saturday, let me know. I'm happy to jump on Discord. We'll do one-to-one training if you'd like. Okay? Then we'll start the event on Sunday. It's going to be a relatively quick stream. I'm going to stream my flight, where I'm flying to and landing with VATSim. And then on Tuesday, we're going to do it again. And that's to allow for different time zones. Yeah? And it's not to say, like, if you follow the book or follow the document that I created, it's enough to get you to this. You will be able to do this event, and you will accomplish the completion of this event, right? And we'll issue out certain codes that the controller will give you. You let me know what that code is, and then, you know, you'll get a new rank. You'll get, we're going to have an award set up through Firefly Air, so you'll have your badge, your virtual wings, as it were, for ATC. And this will be your starting point in, you know, who knows where your online flying will bring you. It's pretty cool. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the man, myth, and legend, Jeppesen 2001, has just entered the chat. Great to see you, Jepson. How are you, man? Jepson, we're going to be chatting to you this coming Wednesday. We have a busy Wednesday, lads. We're going to be doing an exclusive preview of FS Reborn's M500. I am super excited to show you that. And we're going to be chatting to Raoul. And we're also going to be chatting to Jepson. Learning all the things that he's been getting up to, you know? So we're doing well so far. Doing well so far. Don't overboost now, Murph. So, where are we? Well, we're on our way to Belmullet. We're kind of over kind of Boytown here at the minute. Carrottig is there. Yeah, we're moving nicely. We're moving nicely. Now, do I have engine damage turned on? Because I might increase my speed here. Let's see what happens here, sports fans. So let's increase our speed a little bit. Up the yard, Murph, up the yard. Concord not in the front of mine. Oh, really? It'll be interesting to see Jepson's point of view as a developer on Flight Sim 2024. Yeah. Just Dan, will there be any chat on Wednesday about Flight Sim 2024? You better believe it, Dan. You better believe it. We're going to be chatting, bringing as much news as we possibly can. About well, the elephant in the room, that's going to be a new flight simulator. I've no agenda when it comes to this new flight sim, lads. I'm not here to cause worry, and I'm not here to put you at ease. Personally, my own opinion is I think it's a good thing. A lot of it is good, a lot of it is positive. There's one or two kind of head scratching moments, right? But overall, I think it's okay. Hey, Ace of Spades, 21 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, all the subs tonight, thank you very, very much. It's hard to know, right? Let's just see what happens. The important bit of news was our add-ons will work. Grand. Panic stations cancelled. Cancel red alert. Prior to that, we got a red alert, you know? But we're going to be chatting about it more on Wednesday. And I'd love to get your feedback as well. Myself and Gibber are going to be chatting with Jepson as well. And well, it's your feedback we want as well, guys. We want to know, what's your opinion? What do you think of the whole thing? We have some Discord channels set up. Many discussions. We have a full list of the aircraft.
Sligo traffic, Delta Echo Golf Romeo Foxtrot, Piper PA-28, 20 miles to the northeast over Ballyshannon at 4,500 feet. Inbound for crossing the control zone via Ranch Village, Midfield, Sligo Airport, and Ballymote Town. Sligo traffic.
There we go. There we go. So there's an aircraft that's actually flying direct over Sligo, and he's letting them know, hey, I'm flying over Sligo. I still wonder if it was due to be announced at the expo, but they got wind of a possible leak, so they released the video. No, I don't think so. I think because E3 was cancelled this year, this is the Xbox big announcement table. They had to do it there. Let's be real about things. We're also very, very passionate about flight simulation. And, you know, even though there are 10 million pilots registered on this platform, you know, when it comes to news of flight sim, we're still a niche market. When it comes to the gaming industry, we are a niche. We just are, right? If you were to deal with Xbox, you know, the gamers, well, they dwarf our size. Therefore, if you're going to announce something like this, it's going to be to them.
Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, King Air at 4,000 feet, passing over Rossport.
So here's Belmullet, well, coming up, but we have a couple of visual reference points coming up along the way. This is pretty sweet. This is pretty sweet. Belmullet is famous for the Gorib gas line. The tank says, can I post a pic, Murph, please? You can, the tank, into Discord, yes. Restoring says, York is on the MS Dev stream on Wednesday. Lads, is that stream still going ahead? Did they not remove it? Did I not see somewhere earlier on that did they cancel it, or I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't actually hear. Okay, so as we approach kind of Balmullet neck of the woods, we're going to be turning left here. Look at the scenery. Isn't that gorgeous, lads? Look. Beautiful flying out here over the west of Ireland. Okay, we're going to start our turn here to the left. Something like that'll do. And we're cruising along nicely. I think they pulled it.
Belmullet traffic, rescue 118, estimate 5 minutes for Black Sod Lighthouse, Belmullet traffic.
There we go. Black Sod Lighthouse, in the real world, tricky place to get into. Wasn't it Black Sod where 116 went down, I think? A very, Jesus, a tragic accident. Killed the entire crew of an Irish Coast Guard helicopter. I think that was the out by that lighthouse. That was Black Rock or Black Sod? Can't remember. I'm surprised, if I'm honest, about Flight Sim 2 or 2024. Didn't think they would pull it put it on so soon as compared to how long we waited for 2020. Do the maths. Flight Sim 2020 was 4 years in development before they released it. This sim that we currently have now is it'll be 4 years. Released in 2020, 2024, it's 4 years. That's fairly consistent. Black Rock, it's offshore from Black Sod. Ah, gotcha. Okay, epic. Kazaki says, nearing Connacht, still haven't gotten my calls right. Don't worry. Don't worry about getting the phraseology right. Read the document if you can, try and follow it. Or write it out, but put in your own call signs and details. But don't worry if you make a mistake. Don't worry if you get the words wrong. Don't worry about all of that.
Belmullet traffic, Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, King Air at 4,000 feet, passing over Belmullet, Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee.
He's close. Belmullet traffic, PA 28, 4,000 feet, overflying Balmullet, about 2 miles to the north. I'm looking for that King Air. I think I see him.
Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, over Belmullet, turning south. No visual on traffic, Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee.
Okay, so we can rely on our ADSB if we need to, but as a point of caution, well, let's do something here. To the King Air, this is Echo India Tango Tango Mike. I am the PA-28. I'm going to descend to 3,000 feet. I'm heading on then to Shannon.
Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, King Air will remain at 4,000 feet, following the same course as you. Thanks very much. Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee.
That's all. That's all. So I'll put the nose down. We're going to descend here a little bit. So we're going to drop. And because we announced it, aircraft behind us are going to hear us as well. Yeah?
And rescue 118, 1,000 feet. We've visual with both traffic. You're passing all right.
Sweet. So I can see here on my ADSB where the aircraft are. But that's the F20 or F25.
Delta Echo Golf Romeo Foxtrot. Overhead Greenwich Village at 4,500 feet. Inbound for midfield crossing. Sligo traffic.
Now we got to be careful. 3,000 feet. Remember terrain. We got to be careful of that terrain, lads. Yeah. You got to be careful. So about 3,500 feet will do. Multiply that on. Let's see if we can get our altitude held here. And we continue on. Should be alright. Okay, thanks, Bias here. I have to worry because details matter. One night I stayed up late playing poker
Alpha Yankee
with tarot cards and I got a full house.
28.
Wait, what?
Traffic spotted. We're off to your east. Clearance is good. Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee.
To the King Air, we have you. Looking good. There he is there, look. Matty Lowe's was about to throw a proper spanner in the works. Okay, thanks, bye. I didn't know what to say. I was like, Really? Jesus. It was a joke, but a bad one. The joke flew right past Murphy at the same speed as the King Air. I have to worry because details matter. One night I stayed up late playing poker with tarot cards. I got a full house and 4 people died. Yeah, okay, I got it now. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, Matty says, I was about to throw a proper spanner into the works and have a Shamrock arrival into Shannon, but I think it would cause too much havoc. Why not? Now, we're doing all right, lads. We're going to be approaching Westport here now in a minute. Time is looking good. ETH Shannon, about 30 minutes. Ah, Viper, you nearly got me, but then again, you didn't. Man, isn't it gorgeous here, look. Lovely country.
Traffic, Delta Echo Golf Romeo Foxtrot, overhead Donegal Airport at 4,500 feet, heading to the south to Ballymote Town, Sligo traffic.
Now, lads, I'm looking ahead and I see there's all sorts of mountains, so I'm not happy about that situation at all. So, and Belmullet traffic, PA28, 10 miles northwest of Westport, climbing from 3,100 feet to 4,000 feet, direction Shannon. Up the yard, Murphy. Because there's terrain ahead of me, yeah? Now, I can fly around it, but we filed 4,000 feet on our flight. Let's get back up there. The only reason we dropped was to allow that King Air, who we knew was faster than us, to get around us, yeah? You don't need to worry about phraseology when you're on Unicom. You're just chatting to other pilots. Once you kind of make it clear your intentions, it's fairly straightforward. Don't worry about it. You're just chatting to the lads. You know what I mean? Now, it's not there for like a social, what did you get in the shops today sort of thing. Just be aware of that, yeah? Okay, I can see Westport ahead. Just looking lovely, lads. Just looking lovely. Ackle is out that direction. So there's me 4,000 feet. Easy does it there now, Julia. Nose down to 4,000 feet. Lock her in, please. Go! And we should be fairly okay. Just before you hit the ground, if you start running to the rear of the aircraft, it must reduce the G's on your body. It's worth a try. Why don't you go first? So lads, right, have to ask you, for what we're doing here, this is during the cruise. This is where I tell really bad jokes or something. And we're going to be chatting at this at length on Wednesday. But what was your favourite thing about that trailer? What stood out to you the most looking at that Flight Sim 2024 trailer? When you saw a certain scene.
NKR 54 over PA 44 overhead at 5,000 feet for Shannon.
There we go. Nice. That worked.
In traffic.
Gibble's like the ending. Jesus. Poor little Gibble doesn't seem terribly impressed. Were you at the nightclub last night, Paddy? Yeah, that'll work. So yeah, so what was the thing that you saw the scene and you just went,
traffic,
wow?
Baron 7 November 731 November Echo is taxiing to runway 21, departure to the south.
You're asking this to a search and rescue guy? Yeah, right. The Twister looked pretty cool. The A10's volcanoes. Missions, the A10. The first time I watched the video, I saw the column of smoke and I thought, bold move opening on a crash. Wrong stuff. Welcome in, dude. I like the rescue missions. Yeah, the Bombardier Canada Air Firefighters.
Traffic, Baron November 731 November Echo is back taxiing runway 21.
Nice. Boom, 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 boom. Does someone say terrible jokes? Who is the patron of Saint? Hang on. Who's the patron saint of email? Saint Francis of CC. Hang on. Who is the patron saint of email? Saint Francis of a CC. Jesus.
Ireland West traffic, Delta Echo Golf Romeo Foxtrot, Piper PA28.
The A400 and Beluga.
Miles to the northeast over Ballymote Town. Inbound for...
Did you see the A300? Sorry, the A380 parked up?
Down, midfield and Ballyhonnestown, Island West traffic.
I mean, that was incredible looking. Different season. Super Typhon says, Murph, the fires, the tornadoes, the Chinese POI, it comes to, and the planes, the CL415, and the blimp. Oh. I didn't see an A380, I saw the 7.4. No, there's an A380 there. Look at it closely. Ace of Spades, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I hope it is, but I don't know. Okay, thanks, bye. Says, see these two guys walk into a bar, right? Which of you is about to... Hang on. These two guys walk into a bar, which, if you think about it, is kind of dumb. You think after the first guy, the second guy would have seen it. Brilliant. I wonder if the A400 and Canada Air, if they're from Roland, no, I doubt it very much, Goblin Zeus. They look way too good to be from that developer.
Traffic. Baron November 731 November Echo is taking off runway 21 for south departure, Donegal.
I'm loving this, lads. Listen to your voices, listening to how you're talking, even on our Discord. It's incredible. It really, really is. You're doing absolutely amazing things, considering where we started from. This is awesome. You guys are... Where did I just type that? Jesus. You guys are so good now when it comes to being able to speak with a microphone, be it on Discord or VATSim. Incredible. Incredible. And like what we can do, if anyone's stuck, you know, for other flights, if we plan other flights or even, you know, we don't have to stream them. If you want to do a VATSim flight, we can do one. And, you know, we'll all kind of plan the route together and plan it like this. So yeah, this is where we're heading. And we'll figure out how to help each other out along the way. A man called Robin walks into a library because he likes to read. Oh, for Jesus' sake. Stafford! That's twice. Doesn't High Performance Group have a hot air balloon? They do. Is it confirmed that this isn't Any Bill's Beluga? If so, imagine how they are feeling right now. They were a key partner of Game of the Year edition and more. Epic Fool found an issue with the Hems livery. Oh, good man, Epic, let us know. It's not Any Bill's, and if it is, they haven't released one before, and if they're not going to tell us because there could be an NDA. The aircraft in the trailer looks to be that of the Beluga XL, which is actually based not on the A300 but on the A330. So technically it's a different plane, technically, right? But yeah, hey, Eagle Castle with the
Island
Civic.
West traffic, Delta Echo Golf Romeo Foxtrot, overhead Topocurry Town at 4,500 feet, crossing the zone via midfield and Ballyhonnestown. Island West traffic.
Gonna have to change lyrics. Another one and another bites it. It's A330 XL. We might see the older Beluga, what they made at the pass coming in soon.
Island West traffic, Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, King Air at 4,000 feet, right engine failure over Ballycrow National Park, continuing on course to Shannon at reduced speed, currently 160 knots, Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, Island West traffic.
Jesus, there's a fella in trouble. He has an engine failure, but he's continuing on. Okay. It's simulating. Maybe he has an engine failure. So what do we learn from that? Well, that's the dreaded King Air. Has an engine problem, has to reduce the speed. He's still going for Shannon. Okay. That's a pan, not a position report.
Tango Mike.
Correct.
Bonanza Golf 36 overhead Belmullet at 4,500 feet, heading south, flying to Shannon.
Red Dragon says, a bear walks into a bar and says, I'll have a pint of lager, please. The barman says, why the big pause? Brilliant. There's some decent mechanics in knock. They are. Damage Jim says, when do bakers share the recipes? On a need-to-know basis. Jesus. A line in a...
West traffic, Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot is a Bonanza Golf 36 over Roscommon, heading to Shannon via Portumna, Island West traffic.
Oh. A lion...
Donegal traffic, banana.
A lion and a giraffe go into a bar. And the giraffe says to the lion, sit down there, I'll get these drinks. The giraffe goes up to the barman. He says, how are you? I got 2 pints of Guinness, please. He says, you can't leave that lion there.
Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, King Air at 4,000 feet.
That was really bad.
Failure over drum slide. Continuing on course to Shannon. Speed is reduced to 150 knots. Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, Pan.
So a pan. You have a difference between pan and mayday. Pan. That's the call. And if you need to use what's called a pan, it means you don't have any life-threatening disasters, but you're in trouble. You're declaring an emergency, but nothing life-threatening. It's not like total engine failure. You need to get out of the sky. You're just letting people know, urgent. I need to do something. Mayday, on the other hand, now you're in trouble. That's immediate mayday. And you repeat it 3 times. Pan. That's once. Pan. That's twice. Pan. If it's a mayday call, if you had dual engine failure, you're going down. Mayday. Doing that sort of stuff on VATSim, I don't recommend it. Unless you've spoken to the controllers or you're in an environment, because if you put a controller under that much pressure to deal with you and they're dealing with other aircraft, chances are they'll just boot you off the network. So you got to be careful. Yeah, you got to be careful doing that stuff. Common sense. Japan pan. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. Why did the football player say to the flight attendant, put me in, coach? I support both math and farming. You could say I'm a protractor. These are terrible. These are terrible. A sad-looking horse walks into the bar. The barman says, why the long face? But you know what I can't get over, lads? Right, you know what I can't get over at all? A 20-foot wall. You may get one word answer from a controller. Unable. Yeah.
4,500 feet. Heading to...
But I just can't understand it, though. I'll never understand it. Chinese writing. Wait, what?
Island West traffic.
I have a bookload of these things. The one-liners. Iceman says, when are we doing the event on VATSim? Must we stay on Discord voice channel also? Notice when hearing my own voice feedback confused me. Make sure you don't hear your own voice. So to do that, have the sim muted. Sorry, or have me muted, one or the other. If you're doing the VATSim event, you won't be on... clarity. If you're doing the VATSim event and you're on PC, you won't be on Discord, you'll be on VATSim. If you're doing the VATSim event and you're on the Xbox, you'll just be on Discord. You know what I mean? What does a cloud wear under his rain gear or raincoat? Thunderwear. Jesus. A panda walks into the bar, he orders a sandwich. He eats it. He draws a gun and fires 2 shots into the air. Why? Why are you behaving in this manner? Asked the waiter. As the panda walks towards the exit, the panda produces a badly punctuated wildlife manual and tosses it over the shoulder. I'm a panda, he says at the door. Look it up. The waiter turns to the relevant entry and finds the explanation. Panda, large, black and white bear-like mammal. Native to China, eats, shoots and leaves. That's very good. Why did the airplane get sent to his room? Bad attitude. Did you hear about the Irish parachutist? He missed the world. Jesus. Did you hear, actually, down in County Clare near Doonbeg, right? Do you ever see like these dolmen, you know the dolmen, they're like a tomb or something, lads, yeah? A dolmen tomb. And anyway, they found one of them. And what they found when they opened up the tomb, they found a grave. They found like a coffin, right? And it was made out of cast iron. Iron Age. right? And they went to break it open and they couldn't. So they ended up getting the Air Corps to go down, and they pulled it out there using a chopper, put it on the back of a truck, and brought it up to the National Museum up in Dublin. Anyway, when they eventually broke open the gadget, they opened it up, and in there they found, to their astonishment, a perfectly preserved skeleton. Right? And on closer inspection of said skeleton, when they had a look, well, they were able to see something around his neck. It was some sort of a necklace or a medal. And on closer inspection, when they looked at the medal, they were absolutely astonished. Because it read, National Hide and Seek Champion, 925,000 BC. That was really bad. So come here, did I ever tell you the one about the Platouche maker? That was really bad. I told that last joke wrong as well. Jason, I'm going to have to edit this one out. That was terrible bad. Hey, Johnny Aardvark is here. Good to see you. What the deuce? Shannon has just come online. Check this out. Shannon Airport, Echo India Tango Tango Mike is a PA-28. Currently 4,000 feet, overhead Galway. Request zone entry and for a full stop landing. This could be interesting, lads. I just see we have Shannon up and running. Flying tonight, good to see you. Just discovered this event. Could I see a 414 be okay for the VATSim event? Yes, of course, 100%. Flying tonight, if you head on over to our Discord channel, you'll get more information over there. If at first we don't succeed.
Echo India, Tango Tango Mike, Shannon Tower.
Ooh. Shannon Tower, Echo India, Tango Tango Mike, a PA-28, currently 4,000 feet, overhead Galway, request zone entry and full stop.
Echo India, Tango Tango Mike, Shannon Tower, good evening. Information Golf is current, active runway 24, QNH 1011. You are cleared to enter the zone from the northwest, not above 2,500 feet, VFR.
Clear to enter the zone from the northwest, not above altitude 2,500 feet VFR. Information Golf is current, altimeter QNH 1011 for Echo India Tango Tango Mike.
And echoing the Tango Tango Mike, read back correct. Cleared for straight in approach to the field. Report in sight.
Cleared for a straight in approach to the field for runway 24 and will report in sight. Echo India, Tango Tango Mike. Nice. So what's just after happening
Shannon Tower, Sierra Echo, Golf Tango
is
Foxtrot.
extremely realistic. You could be flying along and then suddenly
Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot.
ATC comes online.
Good evening. Active runway 24. Information golf current. QNH is 1011. Pass your message.
So we're going to descend now to 2,500 feet. Information golf. If there was an ATIS, I could look it up. But if I can't, I'm going to bring up my chart. We have permission to enter the zone, and we're going to fly straight in for an approach for runway 24. To do so, I'm going to adjust my flight plan because I'm flying straight in. I'm not going to do a circuit entry. I'm just going to change here slightly, head out towards kind of this area, and then fly in straight in approach. Not above 2,500 feet. That is important. So we're now at 2,500 feet. We'll drop her down here a little bit. One second now. Gibbo the Legend is online. Autopilot on. Hold our altitude, please. And let's see what we're going to do here. I'm going to put on our landing light. Colonel Fork is here. It's good to see you. Warhamster is here. Good to see you. Welcome in, lads. Good to see us. Hammy says, "Hup, I'll have to watch the 109 back again, for I am late to the party." Yeah, Hammy, it's you're gonna like it, man. It's pretty cool. Colonel Fork says, "Well, drat, I missed the fun part." It's on the video. You'll see it on the video. The 109 is class looking, lads. It's due out this Wednesday. Keen Lafford is away. You take care, Keen.
30 miles northwest of your station for zone entry and full stop landing on runway 24. Information golf.
There we go.
And November Kilo Romeo 54.
Johnny Everett says, "Should we all hold off buying new aircraft until 2024? Absolutely not. If you buy aircraft through the marketplace, they're going to be a free, as in they remain in your possession. If you buy through the marketplace, they're going to work. All current add-ons for the simulator are going to work in the next edition of the simulator, bar a very select few. Microsoft have already confirmed that our add-ons, bar one or two maybe, they haven't said which ones, our add-ons are safe."
November Kilo Romeo 54. You are cleared to enter the zone, not above 3,000 feet. Squawk VFR.
Super Typhon, from what I read, it said all add-ons, bar a very select few, will be compatible with Flight Sim 2024. All of them. Doesn't matter where you buy them. Orbex, Sim Market, doesn't matter. They're going to work. That's what they said.
November Kilo Romeo 54. Read back correct. Cleared on track to the field. Report in sight.
And that came from the horse's mouth kind of thing, you know? The select few will definitely be the ones that I own. I doubt it. I'd say the select few could be something like, I don't know, they didn't actually say what the select few are going to be, but let's say, for example, I don't know, what mightn't work? Aircraft? Hard to know. Some sceneries, perhaps? Unlikely.
And November Kilo Romeo 54. Shannon.
What about some of the other add-ons, like lighting effects, birds, texture replacements? Maybe that's what they're talking about. We don't know. I'm only speculating. Like the entire internet has been speculating over the last kind of 24 hours. But one thing I will say, right? You might get some people moaning saying, "Oh, the flight sim community are this, that, and the other." You know, they're all pitchforks and moaning and whinging. Yeah, we are. But I will say this, though. I think, if anything, it just shows how passionate we actually all are for this flight sim. For good or bad, we are so invested in Microsoft Flight Sim, we don't want to see harm or bad come to it. That's kind of cool when you think about it, right? Captain Sim, oh yeah, he's a shoo-in for it. If my flying Mars bar stops working, I'm going to be livid. It's just for the cheesecake, the plushie, and the Mars bars. I wonder how many CTDs this 2024 will give us. Hopefully none. Yeah, probably like the bird add-ons. Yeah. Thank goodness I started on Xbox and delayed purchases are safe. I think they'll all work. The select few could be aircraft that run from external apps like the Phoenix or the MD-80. Possibly. In which them developers want their products to be sold. Therefore, those developers just need to update their products. They've been doing it on every other platform since, you know, Flight Sim came out. You know? And a lot of developers have already said, we're going to make sure our add-ons work, and if they need an update, we're going to offer that for free. Why are you going to cause harm to your customers? Think about it. Why are you going to cause stress and harm intentionally to your customers? And people might say, you know, the Microsoft PR thing, their marketing is like a disaster. It's not really, lads. Think about it. The entire Flight Sim community, we haven't shut up about this. That's proper marketing. It's shrewd, yes. It's not very friendly, but it's effective. You know what I mean? But anyway, we're going to discuss it at length on Wednesday, because Gibbo has he shared a couple of opinions with me as we do. And he's some very interesting ones, so it's going to be an interesting discussion for sure. Absolutely. Now, where are we going? We're heading in for Shannon. I've never spent this much on a hobby, let alone I went full panic mode yesterday. Yeah. Jesus, Murphy, you're going the wrong way, you blithering idiot. Just as well I'm not in charge. Oh, wait, I am. I'm in charge. I'm the pilot in command. Don't panic! I don't know, lads. I don't know. Check out our Discord. We have a lot of awesome forums in there just about Flight Sim 2024. The aircraft list that we can see, all the missions and features that we can see. We have our own wish list. What do we want to see? We have feedback from the third-party developer. I'll show you, lads. It's absolutely class. Look at this, look. So on our Discord, go down to... Once you arrive in our Discord, I think I have this... I have the Flight Sim 2024 forums open to everyone, right? You don't need to be a Discord member, right? But of course, this look, here we go. Check this out: community feedback, our wish list, what we don't know, what we do know, and you have all the information there, including that. The new aircraft: a Canada Air 415, the Airbus 125, Airbus A330 and A380, Embraer, or the Cessna. A Sikorsky CH-54, the Beluga, the Airbus. They're all there, look. So there's a 7.4 there in the background, but on the other clip, on that trailer, it shows an A380. Third-party developers. This is news from what we've read. DC Designs, India Fox Echo, Got Friends, FS Reborn. What else? Career mode. Aerial firefighting, helicopter, cargo transport. They're all there. So ramble over, lads. Share your opinions, share your feedback. MuseFan just put up a link there. Thanks, Muse. That's to our Discord. Ramble over, have a chat. I love reading the comments, and we all chat amongst ourselves anyway. It's great. Gibbo's playing an absolute friggin' stormer here.
Squawk VFR cleared on track to the field. Report in sight. Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee.
Anything from PMDG. There was fake news, really fake. Someone put up a post allegedly pretending to be from PMDG saying they've cancelled the production of the EFB. It was a lot of balls.
Shannon Tower, Sierra Echo, Gold Tango Foxtrot is 16 miles to
the PMDG 737 that's currently released in the marketplace, Microsoft has said will work, as will all add-ons, bar the one or two, will work in 2024.
Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot Roger. Continue approach.
They have airline liveries. That's big. That's huge, Si. Huge.
Continue approach. Report on final. Number 1.
Lads, what have we learned so far about any flight simulator when it comes to default aircraft? What have we learned so far over all the years?
Good evening, Shamrock.
The third-party developers are better at making aircraft. Sorry, the good third-party developers, they're just better at making aircraft. Right? You look at it. PMDG. Phoenix. Right? FS Reborn. Parallel 42 with the Kid Fox. To name just a few. Cowan Sim with the helicopters. You know what I mean? These are the guys who make the high-end stuff. Any default aircraft in a sim, you know what I'm saying? Field in sight. And Echo India Tango Mike has the airfield in sight.
You have a lovely voice, very like
Echo
Celine
India
Dion.
Tango Mike Roger. Caution, there is a Bonanza number 1 ahead of you. Continue approach. Number 2, report on final.
Wilco on the traffic. We can see him on our EDS or ADSB. We will be number 2 and we'll report final for Echo India Tango Tango Mike. So
Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot, Shannon Tower.
Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot.
I hope I'm not going to need a new system to run it. Again, lads, I don't think we're going to need new systems.
Expedite approach. There is a.
Think about it. The new VATSim, it's designed to work on the Xbox Series S and X. There's no hardware upgrades for those consoles. So they got to make it work on existing hardware. And if you think that's not achievable, are you mad? Look at, say, games that were released 2 years ago for the Xbox Series X, and now look at the games coming out on the same bit of hardware, and look how much technology and the development has increased and been enhanced. You know what I mean? Fingers crossed. That's all we can do. But I'm really looking forward to having this chat now a bit more on Wednesday.
20 miles to your northwest.
And if you can't wait till Wednesday, over to Discord. We'll be chatting in there.
Shannon Tower.
November Kilo Romeo by 4 Shannon Tower Roger. Slow to minimum approach speed for spacing. You are number 3.
Ooh, interesting.
Straight in approach. Report on final.
Shannon Tower, November.
Runway in sight.
4 straight in approach. Number 3, slowing to minimum approach speed, and straight, and we'll follow that.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, so we're going to be turning final here shortly. Then we're going to give Gibbo a shout and say, hey, we're turning final. But what I want from this flight tonight, lads, is just to show you, you don't need to overthink it, right? And you might be saying, Murph, Jesus, how are you doing it? I'm really not doing much. Just try and be clear on the following things. And always remember this. Who are you? What are you? Where are you? And what do you want? Yeah? Who are you? What are you? Where are you? And what do you want? Who, what? Who, what? Who, what? Yes, there you go. The who, what, who, what's. We'll make a song about this. Altitude, 2,100 feet. Landing lights are on. We're going to be making a turn to the right. We're going to be going on to final. Then we're going to call it. Runway 24. Nice. Autopilot coming off. Starting our turn.
Winds 313 at 4. Runway 24. Clear to land.
Clear to land. Runway 24. Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot.
Nice easy turn coming in. We are descending. Now remember, we could be expecting a lovely landing here, but we could be told go around. Or we could have an issue that we might be able to land. These are all the things we need to consider. Bring our speed back here as well, Murph. There we go. Murph likes talking to himself, doesn't he? Murph, did you just refer to yourself in the third person? Imagine spending the day walking around in my head. I tell you. You serious, crack? The wind hitting us.
Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee has the airport in sight. 9 nautical miles at 2,500 feet.
Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee Roger. Continue approach. Runway 24. You are number 4. Report on final.
Continue approach. Runway 24. Number 4. Report final. Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee.
And Echo India Tango Tango Mike, 2 mile final, runway 24, full stop.
Echo India Tango Tango Mike, Roger. Winds 313 at 4, runway 24. You are cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 24, Echo India Tango Tango Mike. Nice, landing clearance. Okay, continue our approach. Speed is good. Gear down. Couple of stutters. That aircraft ahead is not with us.
Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot. Shannon Tower.
Roggemer, welcome in. Thank you for the follow, dude. Good to see you. Happy Monday.
Shannon Tower, Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot.
Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot. Welcome to Shannon. Please expedite vacating the runway at Alpha. There is a EA28 on final.
full speed to Alpha, Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot.
Now I'm going to make Gibbo's life a little bit easier. I could exit at Charlie, or I can go all the way down to Alpha. Let's see, can we get down at Charlie? That'll help him. Thank you all so very much indeed for joining this stream tonight, lads. I really do appreciate it. You spending your time with me on a Monday.
Shannon Tower, Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot.
You'll probably walk away with a headache, right? Who's this loud Egypt? But I do appreciate you guys being here.
Roger. Taxi on Alpha.
Speed is good.
Apron to GA parking.
Gear down, flaps down. Continue
Alpha
approach.
Apron to the GA parking. Thank you very much, Sierra Echo Golf Tango Foxtrot.
Great job.
Easy does it now. Can we get off at Charlie? Unlikely, but we'll see.
Shannon Tower, good evening. Delta Echo Golf Romeo Foxtrot.
Touchdown! Hey, Charlie.
Delta Echo Golf Romeo Foxtrot Shannon Tower, good evening. Information Golf is current. Active runway 24, QNH 1011. Pass your message.
Active runway 24, QNH 1011. Delta Echo Golf Romeo Foxtrot. Fiber PA 28, 25 miles to the northeast over Mount Shannon. Request zone entry from the northeast for full stop landing.
Okay, we're tidy up. We're going to wait here.
Delta
Report
Echo
vacated.
Golf Romeo Foxtrot Roger. You are cleared to enter the zone from the northwest, not above 2,500 feet, VFR.
Is zone entry from the northeast
Brakes on
possible?
fire.
Delta Echo Golf Romeo Foxtrot.
From the northeast, Roger, not above 2,500 feet, VFR.
Entering zone from the northeast, not above altitude 2,500 feet, VFR Delta Echo Golf Romeo Foxtrot.
Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee on final for runway 24.
Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, Roger. Winds 313 at 4, runway 24, number 1, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 24, Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee.
And Echo India Tango Tango Mike vacated the runway onto Charlie. Request taxi to parking.
Echo India Tango Tango Mike, Roger. Taxi via Charlie to GA Apron. Whatever way you like.
Taxi via Charlie down to the GA apron, and we'll take it from there. See you. Awesome work, Gibbo. Awesome work. Right, so let me see. I'm just going to head down this way. Feels like an Oshkosh approach. Yeah. Mountain Man, good to see you. All the hype, man. All the hype.
Shannon Tower, November Kilo Romeo 54, still 5 miles north of your station. If you need to fit anybody in ahead of us, go ahead.
November Kilo Romeo 54, Roger, stand by, we'll call you back. Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, Shannon Tower, please report position.
Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee vacated onto Alpha, I think.
You think? You need to know,
Golf Delta
man.
Bravo Alpha Yankee, Roger, I can see you on Charlie. Please follow the PA28 ahead of you to GA parking.
Follow me.
Golf Delta Bravo Alpha Yankee, follow P28. Thank you.
My lights are flashing and everything.
Romeo 54, Shannon Tower.
Shannon Tower, November Kilo Romeo.
So anyway, as I said, that's the idea. So once we park up here, I'm going to show you the review of the flight. But we'll see how Gibbo's getting on. We can give Gibbo a dig out as well, because I imagine there's a lot of aircraft coming in, yeah? If I bring up my little VFR or my InSim little map here, Jesus, yeah, there's a few coming in, yeah? So, let's have a look. Most of us are actually in. There's only a handful, really. Jesus, great stuff again. Lads, will you put the old Pinty Guinness emote into the chat there for Gibbo? He's an absolute friggin' soldier. His controlling skills are savage, aren't they? We're not VATSim controllers, but I don't know how Gibbo does it, but he can do it. Absolute ledge.
Bonanza Golf 36.
We're going to be turning left here. Park underneath that floating airplane. Nothing looks strange or odd about that at all. Iceman says, Murph, by when will we get our departure airports for the event? And must we hand in flight plans also to you? Not to me. Iceman, are you on the PC or the Xbox?
Clear to enter the zone from Galway, not above 3,000 feet, VFR.
To enter the zone from the northeast, not above 3,000 feet, VFR.
You're on the PC? No. So you're going to be, your flight plan is going to be filed directly onto VATSim.
Back is correct. Cleared on track to the field. Squawk, VFR.
So you'll be doing the whole thing on VATSim, yeah? Right, landing light off, anti-collision light off. Avionics come off there in their own good time. Let's see, turn off these. What else do I need to do here? That looks good to me. Transponder should be off now, Murph. Loop. And we can now go for engine shutdown. And at this stage, we will be disconnected from the network as well, yeah? Beautiful sounds in this machine. So, mags off. Alternator off. Bring a mixture back. Fuel tank off. Battery off. Tidy up everything in here because we have state saving. That looks good to me. Go for a tablet. Let's get our tie downs and chocks. Dish, dish. And we're good. We're good, lads. Nice. Your Hunter single seater, you made the flight. Nice. So the reason, if you're wondering why you're a floating aircraft, if you don't have this custom scenery, it's like, wait, what? There's always a slight difference in it, you know? But that's us down, lads. That was our flight. So what I'm going to do, Gibbo. We'll talk to Gibbo because I don't want him stuck. Have you managed to come in, Gibbo?
1, 2, 3, I think. That have made contact.
Okay, no worries. If you need to, if you want to simulate it, if you were to close your frequency now, you could say all stations, Shannon going offline, and they would then revert to Unicom if you want to do that. It's your call. Your call.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll just let Kazaki land.
Sweet. So what we're simulating there, which is a real thing that could happen. You're planning all your flight, you're just about to enter the zone, or you've been cleared to the zone, and then the controller, right lads, I'm done, I'm going
November,
offline.
Kilo, Romeo.
And they will say, all stations, airport is now finished with ATC or whatever.
Go ahead.
Monitor Unicom, 122.8, bye.
Please vacate the runway.
And they're done. Then us as pilots say, okay, there's no more ATC. We go back into Unicom, and then you do all your position reports. We know that runway 24 is active, so we'll say Shannon traffic, who? What? Shannon traffic, who is going to be us? Echo India Tango Tango Mike. 5 miles final for runway 21, full stop. Shannon traffic. And that's how it works. But you need to get used to that because when you're on VATSim on the network, sometimes frequencies will open. And sometimes frequencies will close. And as we learn and as we do these sorts of flights, well, we need to know how to react to that. So there's nothing, what do we do? You know what I mean? You don't need to disconnect from the network. You can continue on your flight. So I hope that makes sense. So what I'm going to do here, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a look at our flight. And this is the review stage. We're going to review our flight. So based on our flight plan and also to what we're going to review, why didn't I get our landing rate? The curse of Jesus. That's interesting. Flights, map, flight plan. Why didn't it give us a... it didn't give us a landing rate. That's interesting. Anyway, not to worry. So let's have a look. So we took off from Donegal. Yeah. We headed out over Dunlow, Killybegs. Here's Killybegs. We then turned to the right to avoid Sligo airspace. Tower now offline. Come on, Gibbo, thanks a million. You legend. We avoided Sligo. We headed over Belmullet. Then we turned to the southeast. We came in over Galway. We fixated our position because at this stage, Shannon came online and they didn't necessarily vectored us. They just told us runway 24 is active, make straight in. Because they told us to make straight in and not enter a circuit, that means we were able to just, we'll meander over this way and then we're going to report on final. That's quite okay. Sometimes the tower might give you a circuit entry. Sometimes they might vector you. It doesn't usually happen with VFR. Yeah. My F-35 is on the edge of stall speed the whole time. You did great. You did absolutely great. But there we have it, lads. Like, essentially, that's now all our flights. We've done Weston, Waterford, Birr, and Donegal. We've done all of these flights. All these videos get posted on YouTube. So make sure you register for our event over on Discord. This is highly, highly important. So when you go down to Discord, yeah, and you'll see here under Pilot Ops, go into registration, and down here on the bottom, you select what day you want to fly this. The blue numbers are for the PC, and the red letters are for Xbox. Number 1 is for this coming Sunday, June 18th at 1400 Zulu. Number 2 is Tuesday, June 20th at 1900 Zulu. And the same times are there for the Xbox pilots, but we just need to know how many are going to be flying on what network. Okay? Once you register for the event, we'll close the registration, and then we'll then issue all the pilots who have registered with their starting location. Your starting location will either be Donegal, Weston Airport in Dublin, Birr Airport in Offaly, or Waterford Airport. They are the 4 airports we're going to be heading for Shannon. And why we're doing it this way, it's going to simulate giving you the idea of different airports, different slot times, because that'll help you, and the registering for the event, that's going to prepare you for the VATSim events. All right? If you're brand new to this and you haven't tried anything and you haven't done this before and you want to give it a bash, fear not. There's still time. There's still time. Our manual is there if you want to read up on that. All the videos are on our YouTube channel. There's a playlist just for the VFR stuff, right? You get to listen to my lovely voice for 3 hours at a time. Shut up, Murph. But also, this Saturday, for anyone who needs a bit of a dig out, let me know on Discord. I'll go online on Discord on Saturday. I'll work out the time. It'll probably be Saturday afternoon or evening. I'll jump on for a couple of hours. We might have actual ATC to help us out as well. And then I'll see you guys on Sunday, because I'm going to do the first part of this flight on Sunday. I'll let you know before Saturday where your airports are going to be. Okay? For anyone who doesn't want to take part in the event, which is quite okay as well, I highly recommend you tune in and listen in. All right? Listen in to see how everything is going to go. It's going to be a busy couple of days. This has been a mammoth of an undertaking when it comes to channel content, because when you're trying to replicate real world procedures and even VATSim procedures, there are so many right and wrong ways to do things. I'm trying to carve out our own because I need the book as a reference. Right? There's a lot of local procedures that may not be documented. 99.9% of the time, your charts are going to tell you everything you need to know. But sometimes there are slight differences depending on the controller, depending on their workload, and depending on their location. What we have here, if you follow the book, if you follow our book, you're going to get through this event. Don't worry if you make a mistake. If you get it completely wrong and you make an absolute Hames total dog's dinner of it, don't worry. Use Sunday. Use the event on Sunday to practice if you want to try it on Saturday. If you wish, you can register for both events, lads. You can go for both days. Why not? Give it a bash. Or if you like, register on the Xbox, which is going to be Discord on the Sunday, and then register for the VATSim on the PC on the Tuesday, if you want that bit of an option. All right? But yes. Gibbo, did you get me clearance yet? No, it's in the recycle bin. Brilliant. Brilliant. Gibbo, a massive thanks to you, my dude. That was absolutely silky smooth with the controlling. Awesome, awesome work. I want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to Flying Iron Simulations. We were very lucky to preview a work in progress of their Messerschmitt Bf 109, due to release on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, we invite Raoul from FS Reborn. We're going to be looking at a brand new aircraft for the sim. You're going to like this one. It is that of a Piper M500. We're also going to be catching up and talking about Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 and all the other news making the headlines. And then, if that wasn't enough, we're going to have the man, myth and legend himself, Jeppesen 2001, is going to be joining us for a chat talking about his existing projects, and also what can we expect in the future. And then we wrap it all up with a chat about what we're going to be doing at Flight Sim Expo. That's happening Friday week. So myself, Gibbo and Muse are departing Dublin next Wednesday on our way to the good old US of A. It's going to be great crack. So for everyone here tonight, big shout out for our mods as well, Muse and Old Veteran. Thank you guys so much. To everyone here in the chat, to all our pilots who flew along with us on the ATC side, well done, great work. To the pilots who didn't, I hope you enjoyed the flight. And for everyone here watching at home, to all the new people as well, lads, thank you very, very much indeed. It means a lot to me when you tune in and we get to hang out for a stream. Go behave! Right, we'll see you Wednesday. Take care.